My name is Dawn Scannell. I was trained in South Florida with Victoria Lee, Ruth Petrinovic, and Jim Franklin. I joined Houston Ballet in 1985. I became principal. I retired in 2001, and I became ballet master for a few years under Stanton Welch's direction. I now stage ballets for Stanton Welch and Christopher Bruce, a few ballets for Ben Stevenson and Trey McIntyre as well.
My name is Sean Kelly. I also joined Houston Ballet in 1985. I had, prior to that, been in American Ballet Theater's second company for a couple of years. Went to Houston Ballet in '85, worked my way up in the company as Dawn did, was a principal there for some years, then became ballet master. That was under Ben Stevenson. Then I chose to pursue some Broadway experience, and so I've done about 4 Broadway shows, either in New York or on tour, and primarily as a resident director position. I did originally some performing in them, and then I've moved into more of a ballet, the equivalent of what would be a ballet master for a Broadway show. And now I have the pleasure of staging some works of Christopher Bruce periodically and Ben Stevenson and Stanton.
Both Sean and I, we started working with Christopher in 1987. We started working on Ghost Dances was the first ballet that he gave Houston Ballet at that time. And it was a very long process, very long rehearsal process, audition process. Since we were new to him, he wanted to audition the company quite a bit to see who would fit where and what kinds of dancers would be moldable to his style of work. After Ghost Dances, we received several ballets of his after that, which we were lucky enough to receive. But we were lucky, Sean and I, and about maybe 10, 11 other dancers, we were able to work with him for several weeks at a time every single year back then. So the work and the shapes and the ideas were ingrained in us, although, I mean, I don't know if I can speak for both of us, but it's still kind of an ongoing process. The more you do his work, the more you learn. So it's been all the way since back then that the journey keeps going and keeps going. But we were really fortunate back then. We got to do every single ballet that came through to the States of his. That was much due to Ben Stevenson, so thank you very much, Ben, for bringing his work. It was life-changing. You know, when you train as a classical ballet dancer and then you're like, whoa, a choreographer comes in and they see you doing their work, even though it's not exactly maybe what they want, but you're moldable, you're movable. And for me, and maybe you can speak to that a lot more than I can as well, how it changed and helped our classical work. The understanding of groundedness can help the classics a lot, and that was unexpected.
Not only did I really love and appreciate Christopher's work, Ghost Dance ended up being a really big opportunity for me at that time, so I think that helped start to encourage Ben to see me as more multi-talented and helped my career, I think, a lot. I credit Ben a lot with also trying to train us in a very pure way, which I think allowed us to be, start with a very clean baseline so that when someone like Christopher Bruce comes in, he can ask you to explore that, but keep it simple. Don't be affected, don't be mannered in your dancing, be very simple so that he can then explore it, or any other choreographer. But Christopher, I think, was very drawn to that. So it was a great relationship between those two gentlemen.
That's a good point.
I think that I find with Christopher's work, him exploring a lot of the off-balance and a lot of the groundedness, to Dawn's point about helping your classical work. I think when you explore the exploration of the off-balance and the down, then when you move out of that back to your vertical into your lift and you're pulling up, it suddenly informs that movement even more so. So they actually do work beautifully in tandem if you're open to that as a dancer.
Mm-hmm.